G'day everyone and welcome to the Eternal Gathering podcast episode 6 here with the Gatherer, and we're going to be discussing today's ban and restricted announcement. Today is March 10th in Australia. The March 9th ban restricted announcement just came up today, and there's a few cards there that were banned in multiple formats. So we'll have a chat about that, and then we'll go on and have a bit of a chat also about secret lairs and the ongoing bombardment we get of these secret lair products. We've had International Women's Day just been released over the last weekend, and this coming weekend we got another one. Thalia's coming out with the 4 different alternate arts of Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. So we'll have a bit of discussion about that, a bit of discussion about Ikoria and the Commander set and Mystery Boosters, just products really coming out in the next couple of weeks. So let us get started today with the ban and restricted announcement. So we have a few cards here getting banned. And we got in Brawl, if anyone still plays that, Goalless Titus Pilgrim being banned because it sees the most play as a commander, twice as much as the next commander. Historic, Oko, Thief of Crowns, Once Upon a Time, and Veil of Summer have all been moved from suspended to banned. And then Field of the Dead was made legal again and removed from the suspended list. Discussion that they had internally was that the Field of the Dead was a card that they were bringing answers with Ghost Quarter and another card, I believe it was Goblin Ruin Blaster, being able to combat Field of the Dead strategies. But with the Oko, Veil of Summer, and Once Upon a Time, they were just too strong for the historic format, and therefore were banned and no longer suspended, and will not be coming back to historic anytime soon. Legacy, Underworld Breach was banned after dominating that format, apparently. Again, I do not play Legacy, but based off what was being spoken about in Reddit, amongst other forums, and what was discussed in the update today, we have Underworld Breach utilizing Alliance, Eye Diamond, and Brain Freeze to kind of just go off, and that's becoming a very strong strategy. The last one was Modern. Modern got a ban in Once Upon a Time. Once Upon a Time being able to search the top 5 cards of your library for a land or creature, and you may play it for free if it is the first spell you cast that turn. A card that just went into every green deck. It was in the Counters Company decks. It was being played in Tron, played in Amulet, Titan Shift decks, played in Bant Spirits, just played everywhere that you could see play, being just really one of the cards that just homogenizes the meta into combo decks with land or creature based combo decks, and just wasn't healthy in a long run for Modern, so therefore banning that card. And to be honest, I did see that coming. I thought they were going to do it last BNR announcement, but they let it go for a little bit longer, getting rid of probably more problematic cards at that time, like Oko, Thief of Crowns. But now they've got rid of Once Upon a Time, and I feel like Modern has been in a good spot. There has been less players, I feel. There's not as many people going out playing the Modern tournaments. A lot of people have been shifting to Pioneer, which is great. But Modern is still quite a healthy format at the moment. I feel, the Titan Shift decks are out there. I played one myself, but the whole, thing about Modern is that it's not a deck that just absolutely dominates the whole format. There's ways to beat that deck, and decks that can beat it, and strategies that can beat that. And I feel like there's still quite a lot of different decks that you could use in a Modern tournament and do very well in. So once upon a time, we'll kind of weaken those decks a little bit, making them less consistent or less quick to be able to get their combinations out, which is a good thing. Gives the other decks that extra turn to try and get a foot in the door and try and get a bit of a game going instead of getting steamrolled especially in game one. Pioneer was mentioned. There was nothing banned or unbanned in Pioneer, but they did talk about the metagame and the diversity of the metagame. In particular, talking about the Helioid, Walking Ballista combo, the Mir Inverter, and the Underworld Breach decks. They basically said, that these decks weren't broken enough to get banned, they felt, with the statistics and data that they got. They were saying that, for example, Demi Inverter had a 49% non-mirror match win, and had unfavorable matchups against 5 of the other 10 most played decks. So it wasn't as dominant as people were thinking it was going to be. They said that there's a lot of answers to those decks. Dampening Spear was mentioned. You got Rest in Peace. You got other things that you can use to fight these strategies. And then they went on to the Helio Ballista decks being really not as consistent as it needs to be able to warrant it being something that gets banned. It still plays another strategy, and that's kind of like its backup strategy. That's its plan B, really, to be able to get the Heliod Ballista combo to go. Plan A, mostly going down the safe route, playing proper Magic, how it's supposed to be played, not too broken. They were going to probably look at how the metagame adjusted and how it went, and they didn't expect any more BNRs for Pioneer until probably late April at the earliest, after the Players Tour Finals in Houston. So that is the, I guess, BNR announcement for today. Look, in my opinion, I think everything that's been spoken about makes sense. A little bit surprising that nothing got banned in Pioneer, but if the statistics and the data they have is correct, and there's nothing to say that it's not correct, then it isn't as big of a problem as people were believing it to be. So I'm happy to let it play out and see how the meta game shifts and adjusts to this. So yeah, pretty happy overall with the BNR announcement today. Going on to our next topic, we've got the secret Lairs, and just the amount of secret Lairs that we've been receiving. We've got, I don't know how many there are now that have been released. At least I would say 10 to 15 that have been released, maybe more. And now we've just had International Women's Day release over the weekend, and with this next weekend coming, we have the Thalia drop. It's supposed to come with the new Historic Anthology 2 update for Arena, which Thalia is a part of. Is this too much? I think so. I think right now it's not a special thing, Secret Lairs. I thought those drops were going to be, were going to happen, I thought probably every 6 months There was going to be 5 drops, but it's turned out to be a drop a month at least. Well, more than that. It'd be like a drop a week on average. If you were spaced out all those secret layers, you would get on average one a week, which is really saturating the market, I would believe. I mean, who has the funds to be able to buy every single secret layer that comes out on top of all the other products that come out? I mean, we've had Unsanctioned come out only a few weeks ago. We've got Mystery Boosters coming out this Friday. We have Ikoria coming out in mid to late April. We've got Commander products also coming out around the same time as Ikoria release. We got this Jump Start, or whatever it was, packs that are coming out as well. Just many products on top of these secret layers, which I thought were, specialty products that Wizards were releasing for people that just wanted, something a little bit nice, a little bit fancy to put into their decks, whether that's Commander decks or into their Modern decks. But it's gotten to the point where every card's getting reprinted with different art, alternate art. The art is great, don't get me wrong. The art is really nice, but it's getting to the point where, when's this going to stop? What's going to happen next year? Are we going to get to end this year and we've reprinted everything that we needed to reprint, and we're going back to the start again next year and reprinting another Thalia, Guardian of Thraven, or another 5 more islands and plains and swamps and forests and mountains? Where is this going to stop? I think, again, they have the right idea. The right idea, Wizards. You have the right idea, but the problem with it is your execution, guys. Your execution is horrible. It happened when you did the masterpieces. You guys had a great idea, absolutely beautiful, but you executed it really wrong. You put too many products out, too many specialty products out. It's not a specialty product if you can get it every bloody week. It's just a normal product now. It's not a specialty product. Special. It's supposed to be special. It's supposed to have a feeling of special. It's supposed to be like, this is a limited product. This is, oh my gosh, wow, you got the secret lair. Serum Visions, those are so cool. They were hard to get, they're only one-time thing you can get. But now, apparently, what was it, 40,000 of those God packs were sold. Just the five of, not the singles, not including people that just bought 1 or 2 of the God secret lair packs. The ones that bought all 5, there was 40,000 of those sold. So you've got minimum 40,000 of each God from the Secret Layers product in the open. I'm sure that number's at least double. I would say they probably printed 100,000 if it was Wizards. They probably printed 100,000, has some in reserve to give out to companies or LGSs, which they are actually doing, which is great to see that they're giving out a Secret Layers to LGSs that have got the premium WPN, I think is what they call it, status, and giving them 1 box to help boost, either they can use it for tournaments, they can have as prizes, or if they want to sell it themselves, they can sell it themselves, I think. But I think the main reason is for them to use it as prize support. So that's great. If they can do that all the time, that'd be pretty cool to give LGSs a bit of a boost. But if you bring out a Secret Layers product every week, it's not a specialty product anymore. It's just another product that you're releasing, and again, it's a great concept, great idea, but you gotta take it back a notch. You gotta pull back a bit. make it once a month, once every 3 months, once a quarter, something like that. Put out, 5, one per week every month, or 4, one per week every month. Sorry, one a week for that month every 3 months or every quarter. That's just my thought. It's just too much, I think, happening here with these secret layer products. And then we've got Ikoria coming out with box toppers, which is really cool. But again, great idea. Let's see how they execute it, because they've been executing poorly, in my opinion, with some of the things that they've introduced. Hopefully, these cards are cards that people want. Whether or not they're cards that you can get already in the actual set, or outside of set. It'd be cool if it was, let's say, collection of 10 different cards, and they're not all from Ikoria. Maybe there was a couple from Ikoria. Maybe put in, I don't know, 3 mythics or 5 mythics from Ikoria that you can get with alternate art, full frame, and then 5 cards that see play in other areas, whether it be Modern, Commander, Pioneer. Make it a little bit spicy, It would be great if Thoughtseize was a card that you can get with new art or extended art. We haven't seen that for Thoughtseize. That would be a great box topper to get. People would definitely be going out to buy boxes to be able to get that. And it helps the LGS at the end of the day. That's what they want to do. You're helping LGS by putting these really great cards in there. Make sure these box toppers are good. Apparently, there is still going to be a buy box promo, so maybe these box toppers aren't part of the actual set. I don't want these boxes to be, commanders that you can get in the commander products or something like that. Or, how they got that ancillary slot in the collector's boosters. I don't want it to be anything like that. I want it to be something spicy, something that, you can't get apart from buying a box itself. So that's interesting to see. Commander products are going to be coming out. Interesting to see what they are. They're going to be using some of the cards from Ikoria, but going to be their own separate entity. We'll see how that works. We'll see if that's kind of blurred or not. In terms of the product, is it going to be more of an Ikoria commander, or is it actually going to be just using a few Ikoria cards and really be their own beasts and have a lot of new cards brought into the format? So really exciting to see, as always, new products. It's just the way that Wizards does it and implements it has been a bit of an issue of late. So they really need to kind of take a step back and think about the longevity of these products. If you want people to buy Secret Lairs all the time, because let's do the maths, if you got 40,000 of these things sold at, what was it, 150, then they're making $7 million on that one day. If you want that to be a consistent thing, you're not going to get it if you sell something every week. People are going to start dropping off. People aren't going to be excited. People won't have enough money to buy it every week. But if you do it less often, you're going to get higher rates of people buying it, and then obviously get more money from that, if that's the issue that Wizards has. And I'm not blaming the people that, make the cards, do the products themselves. That this is obviously something that's come up from upstairs, from the head office, from the people that look at all the numbers and crunch the numbers. It's not coming from the game designers themselves. So they're doing a great job. I mean, really, really loving the new cards that are coming out. Very strong cards too. I mean, Throne of Eldraine, looking back at it, is one of the strongest sets in all of Magic history, if you think about it, really, with the amount of broken cards that came out of it, cards that do see play. You get Oko, you have Once Upon a Time, two cards that have been banned and everything, which shows that they're trying to push the envelope a little bit, and it's happening in Theros as well. They're pushing the envelope with that. Oro's Uro, or whatever his name is a really good card. Crocs is being a good card as well. They're really strong cards. So it's good to see that they're trying new things, and I hope to see that happen for going forward. They do need to keep in mind that they don't want to make cards too broken and too strong, because then you will lose a bit of confidence from the fans and from the players, and like, oh, should I buy this card or this deck, because that might get banned in the next BNR announcement. But overall, the cards, the products are interesting, and have got me excited and a lot of people excited. So good job from the game designers. It's just more people making the bigger decisions upstairs that need to kind of think about what they're trying to achieve, what their goals are, and how they're going to achieve that in a long term, not the short term. Yeah, so I guess that's really what I want to discuss about that. Let me know if any in the comments below what you guys think about these products coming out, the Secret Lairs in particular, and what your thoughts are on those as well. It'll be great to get some feedback from you guys. And finally, just want to kind of talk about mystery boosters. They're coming out this Friday, and the reprints in general. Looking at the product and look at the foils that got released. Some interesting picks, definitely. Nothing that's really grabbed my attention too much. There's a couple of commander cards there, definitely. The overall value, it seems to be good if you're basing these foils off the old prices for the foil counterparts that are going to be released. Obviously, being a new product, those prices are not going to be the same. So these foils will be much cheaper. So it will bring the overall price down. Same with all the cards that are in the set. They're going to be cheaper than the original counterparts. So mystery boosters, I wasn't really keen on getting a mystery booster, but now looking at them, thinking about it, it's something that I might have a look at and see. I might grab a couple of boxes. I'll definitely be doing drafts. I'm really excited to go and do some drafts. It looks fun to draft in that regards. So that would be cool to do. There's no massive big hit cards apart from the obvious being Mana Crypt. And that will still, I think, hold a lot of value, being a very, very highly played card in Commander. So that would probably, it's about 250 now, maybe a bit more. That would probably drop down to 200, I would say. Maybe 180 if you're lucky. But overall, it's good to see some reprints happening. There's 5,000 or whatever it is cards getting reprinted, which is great to see. Path to Exile was in there. And Metamorphose was in there also, so that's really cool. Some cards that I'm definitely looking at getting. And we've also had some feedback from Gavin Verhey, whatever his name is. I forget his last name. But Gavin, who works for Wizards and is one of the designers for Wizards, designing the cards and products as well. He was asked a few questions on Twitter regarding some reprints, especially with the fetch lands. He did say that was definitely coming out. He couldn't say when that was happening or what product was going to have them, but he definitely said that is in the works and should be coming out sometime soon. Hopefully this year is what he means by that. He said the same thing last year in interview he did on the Tellurian Community College with the professor, where he did say that they were already planned in a product that was going to be coming out. But obviously that product did not come out last year, so I'm assuming that this year is the year that product will be releasing with those cards. I see that there's a lot of reprints happening lately, and it's great to see. Modern, I think, has dropped in price, and in part it's because Pioneer has been popular, and it has grown in terms of the player base of Pioneer has grown and has taken a bit away from Modern, having the ability to have not just Modern and Legacy as your other two alternatives to Standard, which were really expensive to begin with, especially Legacy. Now you've got the ability to play Pioneer and Modern and Legacy, and obviously people are gravitating to the cheaper format in Pioneer, and also the format that's got, I guess, the most buzz and excitement, and it hasn't really been figured out in terms of what decks are the best decks. Whereas Modern, you've got your staple decks already in there, as well as Legacy. So Magic hopefully is overall growing, and hopefully the reprints help with people being able to access cards to play Modern as well as Pioneer and Standard, and amongst other formats. Commander definitely being a big focus for Wizards this year, and getting enough reprints out there for those Commander players. So I think that Mystery Boosters is kind of a cool concept. Jumpstart also being a cool concept, coming out later this year, with some reprints in that too. I think they were saying 500 reprints. So really interesting to see what cards get reprinted, and being able to then, get more players involved in more formats. Because I think that's what Wizards really wants, is people to be able to play different formats and not just pick one format. Because if you have your clientele all on one format, then when that format's not doing really well, then the players decline in terms of player base. So if you can have your players playing Standard, obviously that's what they want, Standard. But if you get them playing Standard, Pioneer, Commander, Modern, Legacy, playing combination of those, when one's not doing so well, at least the other ones are still thriving, and players will gravitate towards those formats, whilst the other formats have their kind of dips, which they all do from time to time. So I guess that's it for today. Today's podcast. As always, guys, it's really great to get some feedback from you guys. Share this video with others. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It'd be really great. I would really like to get to that 100 subscriber mark. It'd be really nice to kind of do that and grow the channel. I'm trying to get as much stuff out as I can. I've put out another deck tech out with the White Weenies Gideon's deck. You should check that out. It's definitely a good deck in the current meta. And I've also got a couple of other decks in the works, and I'll probably be doing my quick 9-minute, 10-minute deck techs for those in the coming weeks. So, as always, guys, everything on the stack has resolved, and good games, everyone.